My 36 female husband, 41 male, got fired for harassing a coworker and won't talk to me about it.
What the frick?
My husband Charlie and I have been together for 10 years, married for 6. We've had our ups and downs, but are currently in an up. He has never done anything like this in the past, so it came out of left field for me, and I'm very much shocked and at a loss here. Charlie is a computer programmer and was a senior engineer at his former company, where he had worked for 4 years. He'd never had any trouble with coworkers, and we are both friendly with a few of them, mostly other men and their wives. On Friday of last week, he came home around 11 a.m. and told me he'd been fired. He was really upset and agitated, and I didn't want to push him about it, but he told me that they'd said he was harassing a coworker and was fired. The information I've been able to get out of him is the coworker is Beth, a junior engineer who he's never mentioned to me before. He said she's terrible at her job. Beth slept with a senior engineer we are both friendly with, Darren. Darren wasn't involved in the harassment and wasn't fired. The company's lawyers were there, and among the things they told him was that Beth could have pressed charges but chose not to. Something happened with her car, but he won't say what. His exact words are, "There was something with her car." He was escorted off the premises and is not allowed back in the building to get his belongings, and instead has to arrange with security to pick them up after business hours. As far as anything else goes, he won't give me any details. He isn't interested in seeing a lawyer because he says everything is legal. He has basically admitted to sending Beth some emails, but won't say what they said or anything like that. I don't know if Beth's sleeping with Darren had anything to do with it, but the fact that he gave me all that detail makes me think it does. I'm not sure how it relates. Darren is a very nice single man who is in his late 20s and approximately the same age as Beth. My mind is running wild here. Charlie has been depressed and withdrawn all weekend, won't talk to me about it, and won't talk much in general. I work remotely, so I was home all day with him, and he played video games all day and then went to bed at 6 p.m. The fact that he won't tell me anything and isn't interested in seeing a lawyer makes me think that it's bad, and makes me worry that everything is true and not just a misunderstanding or a small thing blown out of proportion. He has never been flirtatious with other women or cruel to them, and he's never said anything bad about other women engineers he works with. I don't know what to do here. My instinct is to be supportive of my husband, but I don't know what kind of behavior I'd be supporting. I don't want to run to his coworkers that we both know and ask them, since they're more our friends than my friends, and while we spend time together at get-togethers or bars, I'm not close with them. In an immediate sense, I don't know what to do about helping someone who is so depressed and won't talk to me.
Dude fucked up and got caught.
Top comment says, I would tell him you have to assume the worst if he won't be honest with you. I've got to say he must have done bad shit to be escorted off the premises with no warning like that. Either he was hating on her and went over the top, or he tried to fuck her and went over the top, or he tried to fuck her and then hated on her.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
So an update comes the next day. My thread was locked before I was able to respond to any of the comments, but I was able to read them this morning. I got up around 5:30 to go to the gym before work, and my husband was still awake playing video games. I presented him with the very good idea someone suggested of sending me an email with the details, but that it wasn't acceptable to shut me out of the situation, since it affects me too. His response was basically, the paperwork is in my car, go get it if you want to read it. I asked him to go get it so we could look at it together, and he said, you're going to believe what you want anyways. All of this is so unusual for our marriage because I'm a pretty patient person, I think. We went to the car together and he got to his car, handed me the papers, and left. For about 2 hours, I was panicked because I didn't know where he went, if he was okay, if he was thinking of hurting himself, but his mother texted me at 9 saying he was over there, asking me what happened, if everything is okay, etc. His parents live about 15 minutes away, and I guess he told her he's going to be staying there. So, the paperwork. According to the paperwork, he sent her multiple harassing emails from an anonymous email account. The emails are printed out and attached. He apparently did this while at work, and they have been monitoring his user account for 3 months. The emails aren't sexual or romantic in nature, and are all anonymous and about how she sucks at her job. Wouldn't be there if she wasn't a woman, how she should quit before she gets fired, and how everyone in the office hates her. He made fake user accounts for his company's product that she works on and submitted bad reviews of her work. He also did this while logged in at work. He sent an anonymous email to her boss saying that she was sleeping with a senior engineer on another project. He put a gun catalog on the windshield of her car. I don't know what this gesture means, but I obviously understand that it was meant to be threatening. Unfortunately, inside was a subscription card that the company auto-filled with his name and address. She also said she has been harassed for the same length of time, about 3 months, on Twitter. He only logged into one Twitter account that harassed her at work, so they can only say one was him, all telling her to quit her job. So I don't know what to do now. This is all terrifying to me, and I feel so bad for this woman. I have no idea what this is about. He works with other women engineers, and he has worked with male engineers who don't pull their weight, and he's never done anything like this. I would have bet $1 million that he'd never do anything like this. He's at his parents' right now, and I don't know what my next move here could possibly be. This is so scary and so out of left field to me.
Oh my God. I, 16, found my underwear in my brother's 17 room.
No.
I don't know if this is the right subreddit to post this on, but I'm going to post it anyways. It's under r/sex. So almost a year ago, one of my bras went missing. I didn't give it much thought and eventually forgot about it. Well, over the course of this year, another bra, 3 panties, a thong, and a bikini top have gone missing. I started to get worried someone had broken into our house. I forgot about my missing underwear, and for a couple of months nothing else disappeared. That was until a few weeks ago when my mom mentioned to me that she couldn't find 2 of her bras.
No.
Fast forward 2 days, and I'm in my brother's room looking for batteries for my TV remote. He has a large cardboard box under his bed where he keeps random stuff, so I figured he could have some batteries there. As you can probably guess, I did not find batteries, but instead found a bunch of women's underwear. I immediately recognized my red bra that went missing almost a year ago, as well as my black bra that disappeared a few months ago. I didn't want to assume what he did with my underwear, but the questionable stains on my bra spoke for themselves.
Shut up! Shut up! No! Don't proceed! Stop it right now! What the heck? Oh my God, I'm sick. I'm sick.
My red bra was covered in stains both on the inside and the outside of the cups.
No.
My other bra had some stains, but they weren't as bad as the red one. My panties didn't look stained, but my Calvin Klein thong that had gone missing about 6 months ago was disgusting. It was crusty and smelled terrible.
Oh my God.
I also found my mom's 2 bras, a black one and a gray one. The black one had a lot of stains on the outside of the cups, and the gray one didn't look like it had any. But what I found the most disgusting was my 9-year-old sister's training bra. It had the most stains out of anything in the box.
Oh
the
my
bra
God.
had huge yellow stains on both sides of it. I'm not even lying, I almost puked. I could still see some of the white on my bra, but most of it was yellow from what I can only assume is my brother's discharge. I put the stuff back in the box and left the room fast. I haven't told anyone about this because I don't know how to approach it. My brother is 17, turning 18 this July, and I'm 16. What I'm asking is, how can I tell my mom about this without affecting our relationship as a family?
I need a moment.
Top comment. Everyone is just saying tell your parents, without realizing your question was not if you should tell them, but how. Tell your mom you need to talk to her in private about something very important and very uncomfortable. Tell her everything you wrote here. You might even just open this up on your phone and read what you already wrote aloud if you're too nervous. Make sure you communicate your worries. Your little sister's safety. Do not tell your sister what happened to her training bra. Do not confront your brother. Those are both jobs being handled by your parents. This will suck, but it's for the best. The only way for this wound to be healed is to uncover it and address it directly.
I think that's a great response.
Am I the asshole for telling my dad the horse is dead when he asked me if we could have a relationship? My mom and dad married young and had 6 ladder step kids. The longest gap in ages between us is 27 months. My dad found a job that paid well, but he would be home for 2 weeks every 3 months or so. When he was home, he'd show some interest in us, but most times he'd be sleeping or watching TV. One night when he was gone for work and we were with our aunt since my mom had to work, the whole neighborhood broke into our house and completely destroyed and stole everything.
The whole neighborhood is
terrifying,
crazy.
dude. That's so scary.
When my mom took the cops to our neighbor's house, she pointed out every house that helped and said what they took because she wouldn't be the only one in trouble.
Every house.
After that, we went to our aunt's and my mom called my dad, told him what happened and asked him repeatedly to come home. He chose to stay at work, and after that night, we didn't see him for about a year and a half.
Oh my God, he's scared.
He caused it. He planned it. There's only one reason.
When he did show up, it would be in sporadic intervals from 10 months to 2 years apart, and only for a few minutes at a time, but always when my mom wasn't around. When I turned 14, he started coming around more often and started spending an hour or two with us every couple of months. He took special interest in us living with him and would make a point to say it every time he saw us. At 15, I moved in and everything went downhill fast. He started mentally and verbally attacking my looks and my body. He'd talk about women often and how they should always submit no matter what. He would give me something only to take it back. He gave me an allowance but would be mad if I spent it. He got upset with me for not talking to him enough but would give one-word responses when I tried to start a conversation. Then there was a situation where I found some pretty damning evidence of his mistreatment of my mom on his computer. I was a busy kid with little to no free time. I was in sports, after-school clubs, student council, theater, and prom/homecoming committee. When homecoming came around, I asked if I could go. He agreed and was reminded almost every week of when it was. The night of homecoming, when my date arrived to pick me up, he pulls me to the side and says I can't go because I had to help him pack and move out of our house. Completely blindsided because what? We did not discuss moving out, and why would you wait until homecoming night to say something? We went back and forth for a little while, and I offered to come straight home afterwards instead of spending the night with my friends like I intended. He was annoyed, but agreed. The dance was at 9. I got home at 9:45. I was helping pack along with some cousins he invited over, but I guess I wasn't going fast enough. He started yelling and he ended up laying hands on me. I left immediately and called my aunt who came to get me. He started flooding my phones with texts and calls saying how ungrateful I am, how I cost him so much money, how bad of a person I am, etc. I didn't respond to any of it. After about 2 months, I started reaching out to ask him about my clothes and belongings, asking if we could talk, etc. He never responded and blocked my number. I went to his house a few months after that, but when he opened the door and saw it was me, he slammed the door in my face and started cussing at me through the door until I left. It has been almost 12 years since then. On to a few weeks ago. I got a text from a random number calling me by my name. Me, who is this? Him, it's your dad. Me, what do you want? Him, I want to see about me being your dad and you being my daughter. A wave of confusion, disbelief, and finally rage washes over me all at once, and I respond, that horse is dead. He waited a few minutes and replied, it's not dead, just on life support. But with some work, it can get better. I blocked him and I called my mom. She said, that's still your dad. You need to let that hurt go and talk to him. Her response is what has me second guessing the way I handled the situation, and has me thinking that maybe I was a little too harsh. Maybe trying to explore a relationship with him is something I should do. However, if this were a random person doing these things, it would be cut and dry to never speak to them again. So why should I give him another chance just because we're related? Why should I do the work on his terms when he wasn't willing to meet me or speak to me on mine? Why do I feel like the bad guy for making a stance for my own mental well-being? Why is it okay for him to mistreat everyone, and only when he's ready is when it will be resolved? Should I listen to my mom instead and just talk to him anyway? Top comment, not the asshole, he wants something. He's not calling for your benefit, only his own. You aren't obligated to let anyone in your life regardless of relationship. But it's family. Nope. Tell any flying monkeys that they're welcome to have a relationship with them if they choose. You're choosing not to, and they will find themselves on the same list as dear old dad if they keep pushing the issue.